better.
Oh.
Okay. I gotta get rid of some of those things off that recording. And let's go ahead and go live. So it'll do it. I couldn't figure out how to give you permissions. So,
Who?
Chris.
Me permission? Oh.
All righty, guys. So here we have it. So this is actually shouldn't be a terribly long discussion, but I think it's going to be a fun discussion because the one thing every rescue could certainly use help with, right, is not, and when we're talking about donations with Beverly today, we're talking about item donations for the most part, because she is amazing at getting supplies, at getting donations for various events and things like that. And so that's why we asked her to come on and talk to us. And then we have Chris here too, because Chris pulls off these crazy things sometimes as well. So Beverly, thank you so much. So tell everybody what rescue you work with area first, because hey.
So I work with the Polk County Bully Project in Lakeland, Florida. They mainly pull bully breeds, but lately they've been pulling any dog in need for animal control. And they're entirely donation based. It was started by two amazing women in 2019. So they need all the help they can get. They're about an hour away from me, so I don't always make it down there to volunteer or take a dog out for the day or something. So I had to figure out another way that I could help them. And I have no problem trolling on Instagram, Facebook, through the records for who's available in Lakeland, my vendors, whoever it is. So I would sit on Instagram and find all the companies that I bought stuff for my dog, because he also is a bully breed. Then I would find their company on Instagram, start following them, and then send them a message and explain what we do, who we are, and see if I got a response, which 9 times out of 10 I did. It was like, hey, we'd love to learn more. How can we help? What do you need? How many dogs do you have? Whatever it was. And then I would start communicating with them, and they would say, okay, give us an address. We'll send something in. Where I got earth-rated biodegradable waste bags. I got them to help with our 5K run. I got the Bodie dog company that does waterless shampoo and different shampoos and wipes and things that I use for my own dog, which is usually how I start out. Hey, I love your product. I use it on my own dog. Would love to share it with the rescue dogs. And then we also promote them on social media. So I bought my dog Joyride harnesses. I wrote to Joyride Harness and said, I love your harnesses. They're great. She goes, we have a whole bunch to get returned that we cannot resell. Would it be okay if we sent them to the rescue? So they sent like a box of 30 harnesses to the rescue. And then we always make sure we post them on social media. We do a big shout out to them with the earth rated people. They helped out with our 5K run. I sent them pictures of all the dogs and their Halloween costumes. They've already committed to next year. But if you don't ask, they don't have the opportunity to say no because you haven't asked them. So I just sit and bored. I don't love a lot of TV. So I'll just sit and troll through the different companies, dog toys, dog leashes, treats. What can I find? And then I just ask. I asked Old Mother Hubbard dog biscuit is what I was buying my dog before the vet told me he was a little fluffy. But I wrote to them and they said, here's an email address for our donation department. Write to them. And we're happy to help.
So there's a couple really genius things in what you said just in that first couple minutes there. The first one is, I know as agents, because our schedules can be so different and so crazy, that getting the time to get out to the rescue, to actually get involved can be challenging, right? So finding that time where you can look for other ways to help that maybe, hey, I've got 20 minutes right now that I can message 3 people. I think that there's a genius in that, that for all of our agents that say, you know, it's hard for me to get as involved as I want to, that's a huge opportunity to get involved and help that takes not as much travel time, because I think that's where it starts to throw a wrench in some of our time, some of our schedules, right?
Right. Yeah, because it literally is like planning a mental health day. That's what I call it. I'm like, okay, I need to put a rescue mental health day on my calendar so I can do nothing that day except spend the day with the dogs.
Yeah.
And whatever help they need down there.
Yeah.
And I was telling you the other day, so we do a big thing. They take the dogs to get Wendy's cheeseburgers. So I was telling Joe, I was writing to Wendy's on Instagram saying, you have to see all of our dogs eat Wendy's cheeseburgers. Because they'll show them going through the drive-through to pick them up.
That is hilarious.
That should be a Wendy's commercial, 100%.
Well, yeah, they probably don't want to condone dogs eating hamburgers like that because they're full of sodium, you know, not the best for them. But
I thought Wendy's burgers, since they're not frozen, are supposed to be better for you.
They
probably aren't, but they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I was just thinking it would be great as a, you know, rescue dog's favorite treat when they get a chance to get out is going to Wendy's to get a cheeseburger. Like,
yeah,
I don't think that's a bad commercial.
No, but
I think that would be a really cool.
Yeah.
If you get to the right people, that could be a really cool.
They should make dog frosties, like, you know, some of the ice creams that are pup friendly at places. They should make a frosty for pups.
They
Well, they
used
actually
to do
have-
a mini.
Yeah, they do the mini. I get that for my dog.
They don't out here in Hillsborough County anymore, or they did last I checked. I don't eat fast food much, but they used to do like the minis, and that was all I could eat, truthfully, of a frosty. So that's always what I got.
See, I think the ones that are like Baskin Robbins or whatever are dairy free for dogs, so that you don't get any upset tummies.
I don't know if Frosties truly have dairy in them, but
Yeah, that's questionable.
Don't say that. Wendy's is amazing. That's one of my favorite things. So a few fast foods I still eat, but that's a really good, a good way to start looking for products is to start looking at what you use every day. Like, I'm just thinking around my house. Ashley has a shampoo that she has used since she was a groomer 10 years ago.
right.
And it's the only shampoo she'll use. But why are we not reaching out to that shampoo company and saying, hey, what's going on with, how can you help us here? I think, even like certain, training collars and things like that. Like, we have a brand of training collar that we use for everybody.
Right.
Like, why are we not taking that list down, going through Instagram and doing exactly that? And I love the idea of by going through Instagram, right? You're telling them how awesome they are, right? Before you're asking for something.
Of course.
Which for everybody, that's what every business owner wants to hear, right? I like that idea. I like the Instagram. I had never thought about going that route. And so when you send them a message on Instagram, it's, hey, do you send them all one message, or do you send a message that says, hey, I like your product, da 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 da, and then a week later you send them something else?
Yeah, I try to break it up like, hey, I really love your product. It works great for my pit bull, bully breed, whatever I want to call him that day. Love to know if you have any other types of products that I could use on him. And usually they respond because, of course, now I'm a consumer that wants to get something. And then I go into, hey, by the way, I also work with a rescue that it used to be exclusively pulls bully breeds. And they're entirely donation based. Would it be possible to get a donation of your products to send to them, especially like the waterless shampoo? I was like, you can't bathe 80 dogs. This would help keep them fresh and smelling great as people are coming in to look at them for adoption. So then they start thinking, oh, that's great. And then I tell the rescue, when the stuff comes in, you have to let me know so we can do a big shout out on social media and make sure they know that we're doing what we said, which was recognizing them.
And you can tag them and do all that kind of
Right.
stuff as well,
Yep.
right? Because you can tag
Yeah.
their business and say, and I'm not sure that, and Caitlin, you might have some insight here. I'm not sure that that's not a good route to take originally too, is to simply, hey, I brought this to the rescue for them to try,
Mhm.
tagging the business and using that as your initial contact.
Well, I mean, it was even great, like when I reached out to Joyride Harnesses, because their harnesses were amazing, just to slip over and quick snap one buckle. I was like, yay. And then I wrote to them because they included like an email address with your orders complete. So I wrote to them and I said, gosh, your harnesses are so easy. By the way, my neighbor bought 2, and then she bought one for whoever because she loved mine so much. And then I was like, hey, and told her about working with the rescue. And she was like, we get returns that we cannot resell. And we've got a box of them. Would it be okay if we sent them to the rescue? If you can please give us the address. And there were 30 in the box easily.
That's awesome.
Because they can't resell them. Just like
Mhm.
I don't think you can resell collars and leashes. Anything that's touched a dog, I don't think can be resold.
Yeah, there's some sort of Department of Ag rule.
Yeah, because there could be
Bites
fleas
or
or
whatever.
something embedded.
But then I'm
into
also
the fabric.
thinking like dog clothes, like that might be the next one I start up for the NFL season. Is like, hey, writing to the companies that do NFL dog clothes and being like, hey, so we'd love to dress our dogs up for pup bowl. We did puppy bowl.
Ooh, and what if you did that for your home team? Like
Yeah.
if you did, think about that, Caitlin, if you did like every week a dog in a different Bucks jersey.
That would be adorable. I
would
do
be
really like that idea. Yeah. And when you mentioned also the social media and everything, like sharing your own personal dog in this stuff first and then
Mhm.
reaching out to them. Like, first off, I think that's a really good strategy to like, here, I already use this stuff, so I'm a good customer, but I'm also already sharing about you and everything, and then coming to them with that, like, hey, can you donate to the rescue and everything? That they're already seeing at least a little more engagement from that, you're already posting about it, and then seeing that again, like, oh, hey, we can do even more good and get more eyes off on us and everything. That makes them possibly even more apt to be like, yeah, oh yeah, we'll donate what we can.
Right. And then I also like when we do our 5K, I send the information for the 5K to everybody that I've reached out to on Instagram previously and let them know, because what better way than to be at a huge event where we're going to have 400 people all bringing their dogs
Mhm.
to have your product showcased.
Oh yeah, that's genius.
I
Mhm.
love that. I love
And
that.
then I don't want to take up Christina's time, but I did want to tell you, we also do donation matching with companies and corporations. They'll, like you were saying, tax deductions the other day, Joe. So somebody says, hey, we'll give you $1,500 or we'll match $1,500 if you can raise $1,500 from the community. We've been really good with that. Every single time we do that, we get the full amount.
Who do you reach out to get to that? Do you
So,
reach out
like,
to PR? Do you reach out to?
it's usually someone knows someone, like my AC people or my roofer, or the other day, a gentleman that I know who is, he's big on animal rescue or dog rescue. I told him, hey, a rescue just moved, but we need AC installed before it starts to get hot here. He goes, send me the information. I know somebody, and boom, my AC is getting put in. So I write to the people at the rescue and I'm like, hey, your AC is going to be taken care of. I wrote to Tractor Supply because we use those great big 5x10 kennels. I wrote to Tractor Supply, like, how can we possibly work together? We use your kennels all the time. How can we work together? And if they don't get a response the first time, like it's kind of like lead gen. I don't get a response the first time, like I keep trying, because maybe the person that's in that position to answer those emails, maybe it's a new person that gets in that position who's better.
You know what we need to do? We need to take those emails that you've sent before and those
Mhm.
messages you've sent before, and we need to put them into a system to make it easy for people to do this. You know what I mean? Here's your steps for how to, the very first thing you do is you do some sort of post where you're tagging the company. The second thing you do is you introduce yourself on Instagram. The third thing you do is that, and we just set it and give everybody the template to make that happen. And I think that would be huge for anybody that, again, getting time away for a lot of us, that's the hard part of helping rescues, getting that time away. I
Right.
could take 15, 20 minutes every day and jump on and send emails, right? Or do this system through. We should set that down. I might
Okay.
have somebody walk through this video and just write down the basic steps.
Mhm.
And then we can actually look at what your emails look like, and we can all analyze together. We can all try different things to see what response,
Mhm.
what good responses
We
we
can
get.
have a real estate pet project contest to see who gets the most valuable donation.
Oh, that would be cool. Or
Yeah,
just
that
see who
would
gets
be-
the most number
most,
of
yeah.
donations. That would be cool.
I also try to look for companies. I start with what's in my backyard in Florida and like work my way out, because shipping's a lot cheaper if they're shipping it within the state.
Yeah, there's bound to
Oh,
be something that's made or distribution center close to somebody, something pet related.
So I try to like do like what products are made in Florida, pet related products, and then what's made in Georgia, and then what's made. That way it's not as costly for them if they're looking at shipping something like the dog shampoos or things that are in bottles. So that way they can ship maybe a little bit more, because it won't be as expensive as if they were shipping it from Missouri to Florida.
I'm wondering if there's a way you can get in with them when they're doing new products as well.
Well, the other thing is I troll TikTok too for people that start new businesses for pet related items, and I troll them as well. Because what better way to get their business off the ground?
Well, there's some like dog vitamin that I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's kind of like an MLM type situation, like a multi-level marketing situation. And
Right.
it's called, I don't remember.
I'm talking about like
Vitality,
people-
maybe something like that.
There's a lady that makes like this really cool treat bag that also you can put the waste bags in it, and you can wear it a bunch of different ways for like, like when the rescue people are training dogs out back.
Like
And
my little treat bag that clips on my belt, right?
yeah, but this one like had all these little pouches for like they stayed cold, so you could put like cold snacks in there and everything. It was kind of cool. I was like,
That's
It's like a
neat.
but then
doggy
they have
tool
people
bag.
that make cool leashes, and people that make really, in fact, there's a guy who reached out to me. I told him about our group. He made these really cool dog tags that are not plastic, like a rubberized, so they would stop banging against each other.
Mhm.
Interesting.
So I look for stuff like that where I'm like, oh, look, they have this really cool new thing that they've made, and they want you to tag them and share them and do all this. And oh, by the way, I need your help too.
Wow, but you're quite the influencer. Then you become the influencer.
Yeah, then I become the influencer.
Well,
I
I
asked
think
my
you-
son to help me. He was like, I have no idea what you want me to do. I'm like, great. Thanks, 19-year-old.
what you're doing though is you're just creating that relationship, right? And makes everything a whole lot easier down the road when you do need, you need a big donation or whatever. Plus, I mean, we want to help the companies that are helping the rescues, right?
Right.
I mean, that's kind of the goal there, right? There's a system to be had around this. There definitely is, that we could share with all the rescues to say, hey, here's the steps to take from A to Z. There is. I'm going to play with that one night when I can't sleep.
When you're not sleeping, Joe.
When I'm not sleeping at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to play with that.
I'm going to try
I
to
think we
get
need to put
somebody one of those eye masks for you. I'll
My
reach
daughter
out, see
wears
if I can get a donation.
My daughter wears a sleeping mask. Like she got one when she was like 3.5 as a joke, and she wears one every single night. And
Well,
she's 10, and we pick
You
on her
just
all.
can't shut off your brain. That's what it is.
That's what it is. I lay down and I'm like, well, I could just work on this real quick.
I feel that one 100%.
What do you have to add, Miss Chris? Because you have, I mean, I know when we talk about big events and big fundraisers and things like that, what else do you have to add with how to get into those right people?
Well, our donation of items is an ongoing thing every single week. So it seems like every single week we need something, whether it be cat litter or toilet paper or paper towels or, all those everyday essential items. We seem to need something every week. This week it's some of the shelter dogs, they put into our staff's individual offices during the day. They're the office dogs, and they have like baby gates on the doors. Well, those get destroyed from them, jumping on them. They break, those plastic things break easy. So we need a few of those baby gates this week, and we need cat litter this week. So every week there's something. So they put a big push out on Facebook for it, but what they really encourage people to do is they automatically put the link for it on Amazon, and then encourage people to name the Humane Society on their Amazon Smile account. So not only are we getting the donation shipped directly to us, we're also getting money back from Amazon Smiles. Last year, we got about, in total, $8,000 from Amazon Smile purchases from the public.
Wow.
And I think that that's a small tip of the iceberg of the people that are using Amazon Smiles. So that's going to be a big push of mine this year I've had all my friends name the shelter on their Amazon account, so that, every purchase they make for themselves, there's a donation being sent. And it's small from Amazon, but they add up. Like I said, $8,000 for the year, I don't think is that bad. I just think it can be much more.
I
This
think
is
we
one-
need to do a video on how to, from an individual standpoint, how to set your Amazon Smiles to go to the rescue you want.
Yes.
So that we can give that to the rescues and let them share it to whoever. Because
Yeah.
I don't think the problem is the rescue signing up. I think it's the individual. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know how to do it.
A
and
lot of
I've never
people
taken
don't
the
have
time
no
to figure
idea
it out.
about it.
Well, not only
Oh.
that, but what I was gonna say is when I type in Amazon, like it doesn't, I'm like, go to Amazon Smile, so it'll go to Amazon. And like, if I'm in a rush to grab something that we need, get it shipped to the house, like I don't always look to make sure it's on the Amazon Smile. I wish it would just automatically fill in for Amazon Smile.
I think it will. I think it's a setting that you have to turn on, that
Okay.
all of your purchases go towards Amazon.
Yeah.
Not all purchases are eligible for Amazon Smile donations. I think if it's coming from a third-party seller, it's not eligible for a donation. But anything that's in their warehouse that's being shipped directly from the Amazon warehouse, I believe is.
Which is most of your commodities and things like that are things that it's most of the things that you use every day, right?
Yes.
Right.
So I think we need to do a Loom one day, Chris, and walk through how the public sets up their Amazon Smile to go to the right place and
Yep.
give that video to the rescues to make it easy for them to say, here's how to do it.
Yes,
Or maybe
absolutely.
Caitlin helps with that.
Hey,
So,
YouTube.
absolutely. So people, we get cat litter like crazy when we do that, or paper towels, because people don't mind just going in and they click right on the link that we gave them.
mhm.
It ships right to the shelter. They don't have to do anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We
So-
have Max do a little, what do we call template
Yeah.
for Amazon Smile? Like, don't forget, Amazon
Yeah.
Smile will help.
Yeah,
Like,
and
could you like little kitties and little doggies at the bottom?
So here's what I think we need to do. I think we need to do some reminder, and we need to do a link to a video that walks people step by step. We can do that
Set it up
video.
as a setting.
Yeah, and we can do that video on Loom. And one of us here is like a very famous YouTuber and needs to be the one that's going to help us.
not me.
No, Caitlin is amazing. If you haven't watched her YouTube videos, you should. But maybe you help us do that video that we can share out. Because you're so bubbly and stuff when you're doing videos. I think it would if I do it, people are gonna be like, what's this guy doing? Telling me They're going to think that I'm trying to hack their Amazon account or something.
Uh-huh.
But I think that's a good.
Yeah,
I do
I actually
think-
don't use Loom a lot of times when I do it because I don't like paying for stuff like that. But I do have a software that I can record my whole video, you know, or my whole screen and all that good stuff and everything. So I can definitely, I think I need to follow the instructions though first because, I don't think mine is set up, to be completely honest. I don't think any of my stuff, as much as we spend on Amazon and everything, my mom's you know, like a shopaholic and everything. I don't think any of our stuff goes to an Amazon Smile stuff. So I definitely need to set that up.
And I do believe the shelter rescue organization does need to sign up themselves first, because you'll put in, you know, your location, and there'll be a drop down of all of the charities in town that have registered. So you just click on one. So step one would be your rescue or shelter needs to sign up for it.
I know for like some of the ones that I like to support and everything, the they're the Humane Society of Tampa Bay. I know they're on it. And then the little local sanctuary around the corner from me, I know they're on it. And I was thinking maybe putting a list together of like, here's some local ones that are on there and everything. Cause I don't know if the Bully Project is on there or not. But they're like on one of my lists of like who I donate to and everything at closings too. So, you know, making that list of like, here, who's on Smile and choosing, I think is a good idea too.
Yeah.
They are
think we
on
just-
there.
Sorry.
Okay.
I just think we need to make it easy for the rescues to explain to the public how to sign up. Because I think that's probably the biggest piece that gets missed, right? We do need to help the rescues get signed up, but that's one person that's got to do it, right? So that's fairly easy to help them set up. It's getting the information out to the public because they don't want to have to take the time to do the video. You know, so if we do a video and say, here's this video that explains how people can go in and find you on Amazon Smile, set their account so that the donations from Amazon Smile go to you, I think most of them will jump on that and use it.
No, you're right. But like I said, I've got to go in and look at my settings then, Christina, because when I type in Amazon, it literally just comes up Amazon.
Yeah, I think it's, I just think that's something that's being missed. That's not being taken advantage of to the best of their ability, right? One thing we all use as animal lovers is we use a lot more paper towels and toilet paper and crap like that, just taking care of the animals, right? So that extra money that we spend, some portion of that should be going to our causes.
Yeah. And like I said, that's an every week thing that they are posting on Facebook and Instagram is the needs list for the week. You know, it could be printer cartridges and paper, you know, so they just put the link to Amazon on all of those.
Right.
So I've got an idea for that. Okay. So I don't know if anybody's using LinkedIn right now, but LinkedIn has come leaps and bounds over the last 2 years in what you can do. How cool would that be to be posting an article on LinkedIn about what's needed, because you might get to a different group of people.
Yeah,
you might get
you
to
could actually get to a CEO or something.
a
of
marketing director, something like that. I like that idea. One of the things I'm going to do when I'm going to walk through this again, this video, and I'm going to write down the steps that Bev kind of takes to work through these, you know, to build these relationships. And I'm going to put together a system, and then Bev, you and I will get together and we'll kind of, you know, refine it where we need to, and we'll write some scripts that people can use. I think that could be a huge benefit to the agents in Real Estate Pet Project that are looking for other ways that they can help the rescue without being on site.
And I know a lot of them will hold pet product drives at their open house. So they'll say, instead of like for humans, bring canned goods, they will say bring unopened bags or cans of dog food to the open house. That's another small way to collect for the shelter.
Yeah, I think if
And-
we put this together though, and we give them an opportunity to say, hey, here's a way that you can get corporate donations. And it's something that will take you 10 or 15 minutes a day. You don't need to be on site to do it. You can literally do
Mhm.
this outside of the scope of what's going on in the rescue. Man, I think that's huge. I think it's a way that all of us can help without and use our skills. Let's be honest. As an agent, your skill is creating relationships, right? It's always going to be the single best skill you can have as an agent. That's exactly what you need to do. Just keep building those relationships. And what happens when you build that relationship and suddenly we're able to get them into multiple rescues because of Real Estate Pet Project? Like that's where it starts becoming really cool.
And with our lead gen skills, like we know that if they say no the first time, we just keep trying.
Yeah.
Until we
We're
just
used to being told no. It doesn't matter.
exactly.
Yeah. I live by a motto somebody told me a long time ago was you would be surprised what people will do for you if you simply ask.
It's very
And most people are afraid to ask. And as agents, we
Mhm.
kind of have, most of us have gotten over that initial fear of no, right? And it surprises me that I guess I've been in sales since I was a kid. So, but it surprises me that the general public has that. But we're taught not to ask for things.
Right.
We're taught from a very young age that it's rude to ask for things. But
Yeah,
the reality
not
is the only
anymore.
thing to get, the only way to get things is to ask for them.
Right.
So, well, guys, this was really, really good. I am going to write up kind of a system around that. And then Caitlin and I will get together and figure out how we do the sign up for Smile video that we can give to the rescues that they can then send out to their people. Because I think that could be really, really cool. Guys, thank you so much for coming
Thanks.
along. Beverly and Chris, thank you so much for sharing your expertise. And Caitlin, thanks for kind of offering to help me with YouTube.
Of course.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great
Thanks,
time.
guys.
Thank
All right,
you.
bye.